Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. I am so excited for you to meet this very next guest. I have virtually in front of me Chrisie. She is the creator of Vented in Brooklyn, and I'm so excited for you to hear what that is and what it's about and how you can get your own bracelet, and we'll explain what that bracelet is and why it's so special. I'm super excited to have her on the podcast. So Chrisie, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Tony. It's a pleasure to be on here with you.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. So the first question I ask all of my guests is to introduce yourself by sharing who you are, what you do, and most importantly, why you do what you do.
Okay. So first of all, I always say that, hi, my name is Chrisie Canny. I am owner of Vented in Brooklyn. But before that, I'm a wife, a mother, and a serial entrepreneur, and I love to fundraise and do other things, lift up women. With that has come my business, Vented in Brooklyn. And Vented in Brooklyn is, I'll show you a little shot here. They're empowering jewelry with aromatherapy. So what we do, everything's mission-based. So on our website, when somebody purchases one of our aromatherapy power words, we donate one to a cancer patient. With our little riser bracelet, we donate $5 to different organizations and charities. We just did Seat and Siller, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. We're raising money for them for the 20th anniversary of 9/11. So I just really love helping others and helping people feel good through the use of aromatherapy. I started this a few years ago now with my brother, Tim, but everything that I've done and how I've helped cancer patients has been that we lost our dad 18 years ago to cancer.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, thank you. He said, and he was such a great guy and full of life. And he really taught us to be kind and caring and to stop and help a person and to do whatever you can. But while he was in the hospital and alone, even though he had, there's 8 of us in the family.
We have 7 siblings?
Yeah, it's a bunch of marriages together. Well, okay. They had one. My father was married, and his wife unfortunately died very young.
Oh my gosh!
And all my siblings, so there were 7 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and then my mom and dad got together and had me, but my mom had another. So really, altogether, there's 9.
Wow.
It's a lot, and it's great, and we all talk and get along, so it's really good.
That's awesome. You have a lot of best friends.
Yes. But Daddy, how I became obsessed with scent was that when I was a little girl, my dad used to take me to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. And in that, back then, it was called the Blind Garden. So the Blind Garden, was braille and, with what the herbs were. And he would just have me close my eyes and he would rub his fingers onto all those peppermint and all the different plants, and he would test me. So to me, when I think about scent, I'm instantly transformed to being a little girl and happy. And, so I became obsessed with scent. And even in being an entrepreneur, I think in the first time I was asked to bring something in was before Puffs was invented. I used to take Vicks and put it on a tissue.
No way.
Yeah.
That is so comforting, by the way, because it's so funny. I didn't know I needed a tissue with Vicks on it until I was sick. I think it was last year. My boyfriend bought me these. He must have spent $6 for these special tissues. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know I needed this until I got it. This is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so
and
healing.
I have horrible allergies. So, so having scent or eucalyptus to help clear my sinuses, so that's kind of how the whole story kind of happened. I had another business. We closed that business. It was called Fortune Keeper. So it was a it had a great journey and a great period, but it came to an end. And I had a little midlife crisis. And I said, what am I going to do with my life? And I took a job at the Container Store just to see if I wanted to go to the corporate world and give it a try, because I owned a brick and mortar. I worked in a small boutique. So I've done window designing since I'm 17. I did boutique buying since I'm 19. So I really got to do a lot of things, but never on the corporate situation. So I took this little job, and somebody yelled at me once, and I decided that's it. I don't like working for other people. So I went, had the job with my husband. We would take my father-in-law to church, and I just started praying, like, give me an idea how I can use my talent, maybe some scent, and how I can help others. And then that's how the idea came to me. And it's really been a blessing since.
Wow. That's so special. I love. Can you speak maybe a little bit more to those who might not know what aromatherapy is and why scent is so powerful, and how it can be helpful or healing?
Sure. I'm not a pro. I'm not an expert. Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry.
I'm not an aromatherapist, but it's as simple as this. When you smell something, like when you smell like a Barbie doll, and you kind of just, your memory goes to like that, like being a little kid and opening up a present, right? So it goes to, when you smell something, it goes into your olfactory system, and then it goes into your blood system. Mm-hmm. So when you smell something like lemon or orange or lavender, and you inhale deeply and exhale, like every half hour, you get it into your system. And it's been proven to help with even in dentistry, in chemotherapy help, in weight loss. There's been said that if you smell lemon essential oil, it can help those cravings. So it's just great. It's natural. It's been around for thousands of years. And it's just pure essential oil.
Yeah, I think the memory part is probably the most, or just like in what I've experienced personally, is like a calming effect. So even like with my mental health, I noticed that if there's, I love to just put even candles, even though that's not the same, like as with aromatherapy, is that similar to like lighting a candle?
It is, to the sense, is if it's made with pure essential oils, because you're going to have some that's pure, and then you're going to have things that are factory made. Okay. So, but still the smell might make you, like, if it's like, may say a fake smell vanilla, but I mean, it might be cozy to you because maybe it reminds you of just sitting at home and baking cookies, or sitting by a fireplace or something. It's the feeling you get. Yeah. Yeah. So when we give cancer patients, we give them peppermint to help with nausea from chemotherapy. Mm-hmm. And once this guy, Sandy, I love him, he's like, I don't want that peppermint. And like said a bunch of words. It's like, it reminds me of the dentist. So to some people, a good scent might just bring in a bad memory. So as long as you have a good memory with that scent, it's great.
Awesome. Very true. Very true. All right. So going off that, I know that for me, lighting candles at home, it's so powerful. It just brings me back. What made you, I guess, tell us more about the bracelets, because the bracelet, the benefits of that, I think, is you can have it anywhere. You don't have to be at home to experience aromatherapy. But it sounds so cool. So tell us more about these bracelets.
Exactly what you're saying. So at home, you have, a diffusing machine, you have a candle, or you have bath salts, or whatever it may be, or soap. So, but how can you go around and be able to use aromatherapy? So that's why I created the bracelet. Some people do put essential oils right on their skin, but it could be sensitive. So really the bracelet was created in mind with people who are sensitive to perfumes and chemicals, like who can only use natural products. So right there in the back, can you see? Mm-hmm. So you have the front, maybe,
So for those who are listening to the podcast, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can go on YouTube and watch these videos. Also, parts of it are also on IGTV on Instagram. But what Chrissie is showing is the front part of the bracelet has an awesome word, which I love. So fun fact, kind of off topic, but not really. Go ahead. 2 or 3 years ago, I got my very first tattoo, and I purposely put it on my wrist so that anytime I look down, it says live for more. So anytime I look down, I was reminded to continue to grow and inspire and just live for more. Right. And like, I like it, but 3 years later, I don't love it.
Yeah.
I wish I have an aromatherapy bracelet that says live for more rather than it being permanent. But I love the idea of looking down and reading something that inspires you, or reminds you or shifts you. So I love that concept of having a bracelet with an inspiring word on it. So like that alone, I think is super powerful. And then the fact that on the back of that, you can put aromatherapy and you can put a scent to it, I think is super cool.
Great. Exactly. And that's what we say to people, like, throughout the day, just remember to stop and pause, right? So stop, look at your power word, remind yourself what your goals are. Why are you working so hard? Why are you working 2 jobs for your kids to have a better life? So stop, take a time out, inhale, exhale, repeat your power word, and just know that it's going to be okay. Awesome. Know that you're not alone. Like on our riser bracelets, the little hang tag says, I am not alone. Just because there's other moms and business owners that are just having that same stress and anxiety. We can all get through it. Just breathe through it. Yeah. So you're just going to drop. And then, we finally sourced, like, if I can tell you how hard these little bottles were to source again, because of COVID has delayed everything. But, we finally got a dropper that I like. And then you just drop it right in the back. And it's as simple as that. And then it absorbs into the 2 pieces of paper. There's 2 pieces, we actually have a design patent on this, which I'm proud to say that I am a U.S. patent owner.
Awesome. That is so cool.
That's the second one. But with our other company, we had it. And then just paper in there. And it absorbs it. And it can be filled with any paper.
It's such a simple concept, but like also so brilliant. I love that. So
and to go back, I'm like, to go back to your fact about the word. So today, we officially had our first private label order.
Exciting.
So it's, I'm not going to say because it's for the person to say and announce, but our goal is to work with many organizations. So you can have that word or tips with Tony or anything on your riser bracelet or your power word bracelet. So
that's cool.
So we're very happy about it. That's my goal, to start working on wholesale again. If any of you ever want to talk about the business successes and failures or the lessons that I've learned, I just air quoted for anybody who didn't say. So we lost all of our inventory so like a year and a half ago now. So we had started with fair trade artists and it was going great. We had a trajectory, but each delivery, the product got took a step down, right? So when you have a product that you don't love as much, you start to fall out of love and it's hard to sell. So it was that. But then what happened was that they grew mold and I lost over $10,000 worth of inventory. And I was ready to close the door. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I can't go on anymore. And, we were not covered by insurance. And then, I think like my girlfriend reached out to me and she's like, you're not quitting. She got me press for it to be in a magazine. I think even that week I received a letter from a cancer patient thanking us for the donation and how much it meant to them. And I'm like, all right, I get it. I got to keep going. There is a reason for me to help people. And and then, I found a great new manufacturer that I'm in love. So I'm just finally getting back into wholesale and working with people and, our dreams of helping others.
Yeah, that's a really powerful story because I think a lot of people will look at a road bump and think that it needs to be it's like a stop sign. It's like, no, it's just a road bump. It's just telling you to pivot, really, and it probably was for the best because it's better that you found mold than a client found mold or mold. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine? We're gifting cancer patients and here I am going to give you something that's that's honestly, it probably was really difficult, but it's also what it needed to happen to get you to this place now, Oh, exactly. And it's great. And, but yeah, if anybody ever wants to reach out, you're going through some stuff, you just got to keep going. People are like, oh my God, it's so hard as an entrepreneur. You have to remember that you don't have a team, when you're starting, it's just you, Tony, so one step backwards one day, 2 steps forward, or vice forward. Like, you have problems. Like, Amazon has a team of people to handle returns and questions and complaints and, criticism. But so you just have to keep pushing through. Everybody can do it. Even children entrepreneurs. My great niece is doing it now at 9 years old. That's her little purple bracelet. She's helping me raise money for Alzheimer's. Gigi's station. And she gives part of the money to charity too. So I love it.
That's such a great thing to teach a child early on. That's so many things within just like teaching them an entrepreneurial spirit, but more importantly, like the donation part and like why you do it. Like you said, you got that letter from that cancer patient. It was just a reminder that like, okay, things are hard, but you can't quit. You got to keep doing it because this is bigger. This is a bigger purpose and a bigger vision. So that's so powerful.
Oh, it's true. And you can teach your kids to start making things. My daughter, like when masking tape was really popular, she was making pens, and I'm like, all right, let's put it up on Facebook. Let's sell it. Like, you're just going to teach, especially our girls, that they're capable of being that CEO and they can do anything. And it's really simple now. And it's like, you don't need a lot of money to start a business. Even with Etsy, it's great. I mean, the world is.
Yeah, Etsy has really been awesome for creative people who just want to get started and kind of get their feet wet, and then their whole business blows up. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. So you do seem super passionate about supporting women. Did that come from a specific place? Or is it just being, a mom, a woman, a wife, like that you just realized that we need more support?
It came from talking. I'm an open book. Right. So I'll just tell you what I've been through. I had today's my son's birthday. It was, he had open heart surgery. So I just share. So, and women would just turn to me and be like, thank you for being so honest. And with that, I just said, like, we really have to support each other. And I was an entrepreneur. I had a brick and mortar. We were all, I was very young when I owned my store. So I think it comes from, I think I was a little bit immature then and very jealous of the other stores and their success. And as I've grown up and I'm almost an adult at 48 years old, that you realize that we can do things together, that there really is enough money out there for us all to be successful. And I'm constantly having people on IGTV, Evented Uplift. I'm constantly having events here with women coming together, have speakers to inspire us. And just really, if you can really surround yourself with women like that, we're unstoppable.
Yeah, so true. That's so true. That's so special. You really do go above and beyond to getting people together. Like, you don't have to do that stuff, but I think that you realize it only is going to help this world be a better place if we all kind of rise to our potential.
Exactly. And, even with Vented in Brooklyn, like we say, we're just giving people the ability to do good. Right. So say aromatherapy is not for you, but if we can change the world one bracelet at a time by just teaching you to be generous and to help others, like to stop and think, oh yeah, I can do something too. And it really is contagious. Like, being kind is contagious. So like, just change the world. And people are like, I'm having a roller skating party in 3 weeks. Like, just because a flyer came in the mail for like a Valpak thing, like, hey, get $50 off a private party. And I went to my women's, like, I have a women's group, Vented Uplift women's group. And I just wrote in there and said, like, hey, we're having a party.
That's awesome.
And it's an 80s roller jam on June 2nd. We're raising money for Alzheimer's. And it's so, everybody's like, oh, I want to come. Because, just reliving those memories when we were young. Like, you're young, but like when I was young, like when I was 13, we were out skating all the time, having fun, and it's going to be great. There's cocktails.
A lot of fun. That sounds like so much fun.
Staten Island.
Maybe Staten Island. I used to work at Staten Island Hospital.
Okay.
You know that? Yeah. I used to live in Bay Ridge. I know you're from, yeah. So I feel like, I definitely have been there, probably even the skater rink.
Yes, it's down. So it's down on the South Shore.
Okay. Well, listen, that sounds great. So tell us more about, like, because it sounds like, so you have like Benton in Brooklyn is where you sell the bracelets, right? But it sounds like you also have like a women's group or something else that you kind of run that's a part of it. Like, how does someone get involved? Like, maybe, I hope everybody buys a bracelet, but say maybe they have one, or maybe they're more interested in connecting with women. Can they participate in the women's group? Like, tell us more about it.
It would just be like, I don't do anything like formal or post all the time. Like it's like too much for me, but I just like randomly have events at my house. I randomly we have authors, like Maureen Spataro. Like I've had Lucy Dickinson, Jennifer Capello will be a future one when her book comes out. So it's just really like we get together for Zoom. You can just like be like, hey, Chrissy, I want to be part of your group, and I'll add you to our messenger group in Facebook. It's, just people empowering and lifting each other up.
That's so great.
All of us as women and moms, we really do all have the same fears and stress and like guilt of working. And it's good to talk to somebody else and to know. And if you just can find a group of people that you're honest with, you'll see that, oh yeah, somebody else has got this going too. Like we can get through this together,
Yeah. Like you say on your bracelets that they get that tag, you're not alone. I think that's like whenever we're in a dark place, I think we feel like we're the only ones going through it. And that's so not true. It's just the lies our minds tell us, Fear. That's awesome. Yeah. So awesome. Okay. So how could somebody get in contact with you? Where would they find you if they wanted to get a bracelet? Sure. Tell us more.
You can buy our bracelet at ventinbrooklyn.com. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at ventinbrooklyn.com too. You can always look me up at Chrisie Canny on Facebook. So sometimes I'll just post everything there. And that's ChrisieCanny. And sometimes I pretend I can do a TikTok. I've done about 4. So you're not really going to find me anywhere else for that. I've not mastered that yet, that skill.
It's hard to it's hard to master. It's hard. Oh man. But
you're doing great at it.
I do occasional TikToks. I try. I'm inconsistent.
You do reels though more.
I use the TikTok. I'll like use it and like use that as my reel, which you're like not supposed to do that. Instagram doesn't like that.
No.
But can't redo all these things. These videos take time to create. I'm going to repurpose before I make a new one.
Yes.
But I'm going to put all of those links in the show notes. So anybody's listening, if you're inspired by this story, please reach out to Chrissy, whether you are an inspiring business owner, maybe you're a current business owner, maybe you're a wife, maybe you're a mom trying to juggle work. Maybe you lost someone to cancer and this is a cause that's near and dear to your heart and you want to support that cause. I think it's awesome. Like I said, just having something to look down at each day with an inspiring word, that alone is helpful. But I always like put candles on, or I put like aromatherapy just like on my wrist, or perfume. I love scents because it really does calm you, center you, help you, forces you to kind of slow down, pause, take a breath, and lift you up a little bit, because sometimes the day can get a little bit, we get kind of stuck in the monotony of the day to day. So it's a really nice kind of interjection throughout it. So guys, go follow Chrissy on Instagram. Go get your bracelet. If you have any questions, reach out to her. If you're new to this podcast, definitely hit that subscribe button. A new episode comes out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And when you're subscribed, you don't miss a beat. Chrissy, thank you so much for being here. Everyone listening, thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.